Hey Raghunath, tell everyone about our Patreon community.
Sure, Kostuba. The Wisdom of the Sages Patreon community is an incredible online yoga resource. If you like the type of yoga wisdom and culture we share on the show, then our Patreon community is a great next step. This is a listener-supported podcast, and any level of sponsorship will unlock a wide range of live and archived classes, talks, and even workshops.
Raghunath teaches, I teach, and we have a host of other excellent teachers on topics ranging from yoga philosophy, asana classes, storytelling, Ayurveda, kirtan, cooking, meditation, and a lot more.
We even have an incredible online Bhakti 12-step recovery group.
So if you want to check it out, go to patreon.com/wisdom of the sages.
All right, let's get it on.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Live from Super Soul Farm, this is Wisdom of the Sages, a daily spiritual podcast that makes ancient wisdom relevant today. This is episode 1331 with your host, Raghunath, and co-host and senior educator at the Bhakti Center in New York, Kostuba Das. Welcome to the show, everybody. We're here. Good morning, everyone. How are you?
Good morning, Raghu. Good morning, Mara.
Good morning.
It was date night last night for me and Mara, and we made it home for sweet baby Krishna.
Well, we were a little late.
We're a little late because of the date. But I will say this. We're going to do Sweet Baby Krishna again tonight.
Wow, you're getting
I
addicted.
know, 8 o'clock tonight. If you're a Patreon member, please join us. I tell you, it is such a sweet way to wind down the day. And you know what we read yesterday, Kostuba? We read the wonderful, horrible, wonderful story. And that's the exact thing. That's how it goes. Wonderful, horrible, wonderful. Life of Harish Chandra.
Oh, you're back to Harish Chandra.
Harish Chandra's good, man. It's like everything's going good. Hairpin turn. The bottom falls out. Stuck in an apparent glue trap. It was all a dream. It was all a test. Sometimes our biggest challenges are just tests to see how we're going to react. But you could read that comic book and just be like, I remember reading it to Tarun, and he was like, this is the most depressing nighttime story you've ever read me. I was like, it's going to get better.
Yeah, our character is going to get tested. Our devotion is going to get tested. It's all going to get tested.
Yeah. And you know what I was thinking also, that before we get into our important announcements, every culture goes through this. There's oftentimes you see this picture of the Buddha getting tempted by the gods, and you read this about this again and again, or you hear the stories about as the liberated soul goes back to Godhead, he gets offered, heavenly delights. Choose this planet. You can live on this planet, and the pure devotee saying, nope, 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 nope. And Jesus also was brought to the top of the mountain with Satan, and Satan said, Look at my cities. You can have any one of them. Have them all. And Christ was like, pass. Not today, Satan.
Not today, Satan.
Yeah.
Very good.
Mara, any
Yes.
announcements, my dear?
Yes, we have Back to Recovery group meetings today at noon and 1:30. Cult of Cain asana class tomorrow with Josh Kane for our Patreon members at 10:30 a.m. And then Bobby Marchand is doing a retreat here at the end of July, and you linked it on your page. She said I guess the link was broken, but now it's fixed. So if people are interested, it's a women's retreat.
Fantastic. Check
Okay.
out all upcoming programs at Super Soul Farm. I keep them on my website, raghunath.yoga/events, and you can see what's going on coming up. Also join Wisdom of the Sages at the beautiful Govardhan Eco Village for our Light on Wisdom training, January 12th through the 24th. If you've ever wanted to have some time away of the daily grind to learn yoga, wisdom in depth, and have all your questions answered in a supportive environment, this is an opportunity that can't be missed. Go to wisdomofthesages.com/events for more info and to register. I think this is our 5th annual one, and it is sweet, sweet, sweet. It's meet the Zoomers. It's meet the others coming together and hanging out
In the most ideal setting.
in the most ideal setting with Radha Swami. And the whole thing culminates in me
Flower
throwing
festival.
flowers in Kaustubha's face and him returning those flowers in my face at the lovely flower festival in Mumbai.
All right.
Here's our
But,
nugget
you know,
for
last
today.
year, the flower festival, I went into it thinking, is this like number 12, 13? I don't know how many times I've gone. And I was just thinking, I don't know. I'm just going to kind of go through it. I've what, you know, once it
Right.
got
It's like, been there,
started,
done that?
Yeah.
No.
Last year was the best, I think.
I know. I
was-
walked away saying that might have been the best one yet. It was really good. Lots of kirtan, lots of
Spiritual life does not get old.
spiritual flower battle. It's kind of like what are that people do when they take those guns and they shoot at each other? This paint guns.
Duel.
No, not a duel. Paint
think you
gun
just
kind of thing.
Paint, yeah,
A
paintball.
Paintball.
It's like yeah. It doesn't get old.
But it's a beautiful.
Kirtan doesn't get old. It should get old. It seems like it should. There's something mystical about kirtan. You know, when we lived in the temple, we did the exact same songs every day, oftentimes the same singer. Like there would be a little kirtan hog in the temple, right? And it just like be the same guy, the same melody every morning. But it never got old because we train ourselves to go deep and not go wide. Even though there's thousands of Hindi bhajans, Sanskrit stutis and stotrams, Gujarati bhajans, Bengali bhajans, we sing the same one every day. The same like 8 or 10 every day. Never get old. Always go deeper.
Question for you, Raghunath.
Hit
It's a
me.
bit of a squirrel. Hindi bhajans, Bengali bhajans. If you had to give up one and only have one, which would you go with?
Hindi bhajans. You're trying to bait me, and I'm not going to go for it.
What do you
As
mean?
long as they're worshiping Lord Krishna, the Lord of Mathura,
Yeah.
I will sing those songs. How about that? I'm not going to go there.
You just
Kaustubha.
didn't answer the question. You just totally avoided it. I'm
I
saying,
did. As they're worshiping Lord Krishna, then I will sing that
Yeah.
song.
But if you could only sing either the Bengali or the
This
Hindi,
is that's like saying, okay, you could only. No.
yeah,
one
let's say
food.
if you could only read the Bhagavad Gita or the Srimad Bhagavatam, which
Okay,
would
you're
you
only
go
gonna. You're only gonna. You can only kiss Greg DeGasu or Tim O'Reilly. Which one's gonna be? How about that? And same thing. It's like.
with? I don't know how
You're
that
setting me
applies.
up.
I'm not
You're
sure.
setting me up.
I wasn't setting you up. I was just
I'm
curious.
gonna just sing whatever songs glorify Krishna in any language.
All right. So you would give up Bengali ones for, let's
That
say,
you would kiss Greg DeGasu.
I don't see how that applies at all. But okay, I guess you don't want to go there. It's fine.
He's kissing you back in the
He's
screen.
right.
That's why you got to join Zoom, people. If you want to join Zoom, go to wisdomofsages.com. No, wisdomofsages108@gmail.com and get the secret codes for Mara. Here's our nugget for the day, Mr.
Who's
Squirrel
it from?
Man. This is from Thomas Merton.
Oh yeah, he's great.
He's great.
Gotta love
I
his
like
stuff.
these Christians who go so deep. Otherwise, I tell you, Abrahamic religions, they just tend to be so, I love them so much. They tend to be so damn exclusive. Like you can't get in unless you follow
They let anybody in.
our Savior exclusively. It's not like
Okay.
that. Vedic teachings aren't like that. We hear you're following Jesus. We're like, all right, follow Jesus. You follow Jesus. We love Jesus. You know what I was listening to last night? I'm going to scroll you this one. After Sweet Baby Krishna, we just put on kirtans on YouTube. And I tell you, the Madhavas rock band, I got to interview these guys for the podcast because
See, that's
they
Hindi.
are incredible. Go
You
there
just
right now.
answered
Mara,
it.
put some
You're-
links. Somebody
you're
put
the-
some links on the board for Madhavas rock band. They're incredible.
You just answered
But
it. Rogan.
not only
You're into
that,
the Hindi
this-
stuff.
Yeah, but Achyuta Gopi.
Big
God,
Bengali
you
one.
got to interview her for the podcast
Okay.
because he's so good.
Is she with
And
the
just
Madhavas
as-
now?
Talk about diversity and equity. Everybody's singing from every diverse culture at the Sadhu Sangha Festival, singing, dancing, losing their mind, coming together in such joy. You
Is
can
it
only
that diverse?
look at that and smile.
How diverse was that? I think it's like 95%.
Every ethnicity is
They're all
there.
there. Okay.
Is there. You know, singing together, jumping up and down. actually bringing people together. You don't have to artificially institute some way. Well, now we're going to make it equal. It's equal. We're all there singing together,
That's true.
dancing together.
That's what you'll see that at Rath Yatra. Come to the Rath Yatra, right? New York Rath Yatra.
New York Rath Yatra, we're counting down. We're chanting on Sweet Baby Krishna. We're chanting Jagannath Astakam again today.
My God, imagine Maya at the New York Rath Yatra. She's gonna be tearing it up.
I think she
down Fifth Avenue.
go last year. I don't think she's going this year because she's going to be at her mom's.
Get out.
Okay. Anyway,
Nugget,
this
Thomas
is Thomas
Merton.
Merton. And again, these guys, they go deep into their religion and they come out very broad-minded. You see that with Sufis. You see that with Christian mystics. You see that with Kabbalists. Is that the word? Kabbalists? Kabbala? Kabbalists? But anyway, here's what Thomas Merton says. People may spend their whole lives climbing the ladder of success.
Mhm.
I say this all the time. Did he make this up? I didn't know that. I've been quoting this forever.
I think did Stephen Covey use this as well?
Stephen Covey used it, but I didn't think he got it from Thomas Merton.
I think he got it from Thomas Merton.
It's definitely in 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. A lot of my material comes from 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
You're a highly effective person.
And I'm not. That's the scary thing.
Let's
People
start
may
it over.
spend their whole lives climbing the ladder of success,
Yeah.
only once they reach the top to realize that ladder is leaning against the wrong wall.
Oh.
Wow. This is huge.
Okay.
Right?
Can take that in.
What do? We put in our time at in the educational system, and then we said, well, now you want to really become successful, then you got to go to the university, then you got to go to get your master's, and then you got to. A lot of times we are just like running down the track. We don't even know where the finish line is. So we think it's, well, maybe it's just some type of like position. And then some headhunter comes and grabs us from college and puts us in this high-paying job. And well, high-paying seems pretty good. That must be success. And we never actually stop to analyze, what is a win? What does a home run look like for us? And so there's a lot of hustle. There's a lot of work. There's a lot of resources, right? There's a lot of debt. And then I'm like, I don't even know if I want to be here. I don't even know if I want to be at the top of this ladder. I have all the accoutrements of success. I got the latest. I got the 2024 or 2025, Grand Cherokee or whatever. Or I've got the latest iPhone and all the accoutrements of success. But I feel empty. I just want to do, and that's where we have to start to say now, when it's maybe not, doesn't appear to be the time, it's maybe perhaps the most important time. Now I should just look into my heart. What do I want to do with this short life? And if kids could do that before they get sent off to the workforce, and maybe start asking those questions, what do I think a win would be in this world? Otherwise, sometimes we follow career paths of our parents and to please our parents or to please. Sometimes we just feel like I've got to prove to my older brother or to my older sister, and we just sort of like miss out on life. And the interesting thing is, Kastubaji,
yeah,
I don't know my grandfather. I never really met my grandparents. I barely met them.
On either
what
side?
to speak of my great-grandparents.
On both sides?
Yeah, my father died when he was 5. My grandmother, I just knew her when she was old. She didn't speak a word of English.
Your father didn't die when he was 5.
No, my father's father died when he was 5.
Okay.
So I never met him. The grandmother I knew as an old lady who didn't speak English. My mother's grandparents, they both didn't speak English. And basically, I never really knew them.
Okay.
What to speak of their parents? My point is, in only a generation from now, or 2 generations, our whole history is going to be pretty much forgotten. And if we live this very tiny, in eternal time, because time's still going on, even though they're death, even though they had a very real life, time's still marching on. In this lifetime, if we're not really following our heart's dreams, and I'm not, and of course, because it's this podcast, following our internal heart, our spiritual heart's dreams, we're missing out. we're missing out on perhaps this lifetime. If we are getting pulled in directions that aren't going to even serve even what we want to be in this world. So we always say we've got to figure out what our offering is in this world and then offer it back to God. It's sometimes we are just already just out of the gates running and we don't even know where we're running to. And life is short. Kastuba.
Okay, he's working off, ran out of energy right there. Now he hands over the baton.
My batteries just ran out right there.
Okay. No, but I think you said it well, Raghunath. You know, I think we're all given gifts in this life. You know, those gifts may be relatively large or small. Ultimately, they're all small, right? Even the biggest people out there, you know, relatively, you know, whether you're Taylor Swift or just somebody that nobody knows their name practically, just few people even know them.
Sure.
You know, our gifts are relatively small, but the essential question becomes, where will they best be invested? You know, or conversely, where will they be wasted? You know, and all the energy that we put in. And you kind of mentioned it, you know, we go out and we go to school, we get a university degree, we get, you know, hours upon hours of training and developing different skills. You know, we become skilled. And then there's just countless hours of work, you know, developing a whole Rolodex of contacts, you know, business contacts or something like that, or, you know, building up a business. Yeah. Expanding, contracting, expanding again, meetings, hours and hours and hours of meetings, you know, and tolerating, you know, the relationships involved and the competition that's involved and all that energy spent. We're going to spend up. We got a limited amount of energy. And when you spend it, you know, there's a lot of emotional energy being spent too in this life. That's going to happen. We're going to, and either it's going to be well, in all of that energy, you know, it's tolerable. Even the difficult parts of it are tolerable if it's being invested well.
Sure.
And if it's not going to be invested well, and we're going to lose, you know, if we imagine you work for years and years and years, and then you put it all down, you go to Vegas and you put it all on the table, and then you invested in some stock, and the next day, you know, it's just all lost. Krishna speaks of this in the Bhagavad Gita. You know, Nahabhik Shosti Patyavayona Vijite. You know, he says that you know, in material endeavor, you invest so much in it, the results of it all disappear. But Krishna's saying to Arjuna, with spiritual endeavor, it's different. In this type of endeavor, the endeavor where you give back without expecting anything in return. You reconnect yourself to that root of all existence, you know, to God. In that type of endeavor, there's no loss, there's no diminution. And even the smallest amount of advancement on that path can protect you from all kinds of horrific, you know, results down the road. So
that means offering a little flower, like Udi came in this morning. He offered a little flower on the altar today. That was a huge endeavor in a spiritual life where I could be toiling for years and years.
Never lost the result
in
of that.
any type of labor. Yeah. Any type of labor, but divorced from connection with source. And it's just over.
Divorced from connection with source.
Divorced from source. Boom, t-shirt.
Divorced from source.
I don't want to be divorced from source.
I want to be spiritual, of course. I want to be on a better course. How's that?
I do not like green eggs and ham.
All right.
Okay.
So you know, now Prahlad's going to speak to this. He's saying, you know, Lord Vishnu is speaking to him. The Shringadeva is speaking to him, and he's saying, take anything you want, right? I'm offering. He's testing. In one sense, it's a genuine, I want to please you, right? Isn't it?
Yeah.
I love you. I want to give you something just from the core of my heart. But in another sense, we're watching Prahlad's heart be tested. What's in there? What does he want? He's been offered anything. Take anything you want. He's saying, I'm not interested in taking things from you. I want to stay connected with you. I've watched my father, who was like this, you know, super A-level, top top-notch materialist, and I've seen
I'm
how
an A-level materialist. I'm a
A-level,
black
A-list.
belt in materialism.
He was beyond 10th degree,
Mm.
and he saw how he climbed that ladder. It was an intense ladder to climb for his father, right? He performed severe yogic austerities for like incalculable amount of time, you know. He climbed the ladder, but look where it got him. It was up the wrong wall.
Mhm.
You know? So now we get to hear him kind of give his exposition on life here. You know, what it's like, what is it all about? He wants divine love. He's saying that's the wall I wanted to be up against, right? I want to climb the ladder that leads me to a place where my heart is entirely pure, where it'll be pure enough and soft enough to experience the esoteric end of bhakti, the true love that we're all searching for in this world and never quite exactly finding due to our impurities. Right? Prahlad, he's laying it out.
I wonder if Mara was tested by Lord Nrsingadev. What would you like, Mara? I'll give you anything. She's like, anything? The pure love of God. Are you sure you don't want plants?
I've already
Okay,
got
give me some plants.
I've already got the fancy electric car.
You have to take birth again for wanting plants.
Mara, when you're driving around in the car, what kind of car
You
is it?
understand?
Kia?
Mara's got no desire. She only got that car.
I'm testing right now.
She's got no.
We're going to
material
find out,
desires.
Raghunath. We're going to find out.
Plants.
You're biased.
She's not going to fall victim to cars. That's my issue. She's going to fall victim to someone saying, "Hey, you want aloe vera? Okay, I'll take it."
I have a lot of aloe vera already, though. Maybe not that one.
No, here's my question. Here's my question.
Okay, Kastuba's question.
When you're driving around in your electric car,
Mm.
and then you see someone driving by in the latest model, fancier electric car, is there something in you? Is there a little bit?
No, that's in me, Prabhu.
Let her answer the question.
I know her.
There, I want an honest answer.
She wants a. I'll tell you her material desires, and
I want her to tell me. I don't want you to tell me.
Gas stove, and she wants more plants.
I do want a gas stove. If Lord Nrsingadev was like, I can switch out this electric stove for propane one.
She'll like, okay, I'll take birth again.
Okay.
But that's because she wants. That's because you want that to serve better.
It's true.
But for your fancy driving around ego end, what about that? Is that there?
No.
I want a Tesla.
No, I don't.
Okay, she's pure.
I don't care. I'm not into vehicles so much.
At all. I was like, we should paint this matte black. And she's like, whatever.
Paint it black. Where are you coming from? With the stripes.
In the windows. That's where my materialistic mind goes to. Matte black, black rims, tinted windows. It's like I'm nuts.
You did choose nice. You got those fancy hubcaps for the Airstream though. Those look good.
Yeah, they're called the half moon.
The baby moons.
The baby moon hubcaps for the Airstream.
Anyway,
let's go on. I want to go see where your material desires are at, Kastuba.
My desire right now.
Desire? You could have anything, Kastuba. Come on.
I would like you to chant the opening mantras. That's my
really,
desire.
Really.
Yes.
Huh?
It's true.
Serious? What would you like?
Look at you. You actually see the horns growing out of your head right now.
I can offer you the world, Kastuba. We never know where our material desires are at until we get offered the world.
Yeah, it's happening to Prahlad.
Were we just talking about that last night?
I guess this is common in different kind of spiritual literature, right? Like you were talking about in the Bible, Jesus gets the last temptation of Christ, right?
Yeah.
Buddha got tested like that?
Yeah, there's all these famous paintings of the Buddha and all these, I think it's gods or demons tempting him, and he's sitting there in peace.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we talk about it all the time. Before the jiva goes back to the spiritual world, all the gods become envious of him, of the
temptations,
jiva, and tempt him. Stop off on my planet. Right. I think, Kastuba, we're going to have to get all these tests before we go back to Krishna. And right now,
Prabhupada once said,
maybe we don't even have the karma to even get, maybe we're not being tested yet.
Oh.
That's why I think these people are very, very high level successful, high level beautiful, high level intellect, but they say, you know what? It means nothing. All I want is Krishna.
The ladder
Those
up
people
the
are
right
very
wall.
special. Those people are very special.
You know, I had a interesting conversation with Niranjana Swami back when I was in Mayapur. He's a deep person. I respect him, you know. Sannyasi, Bhakti-yogi, many decades, serving selflessly, deeply contemplative.
Mm.
And I said to him, you know, I said, Maharaj, I read these books, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Brihad Bhagavatamrita, different books. Sometimes it seems like the message, and sometimes you feel the message, that we're so close, you know, so close to recovering our own spiritual nature, so close to, you know, Krishna Prema, we're so close to it, you know. And then sometimes I'm reading the exact same books, and it seems like they're telling me another message. We got such a long, hard path to walk, you know,
Yeah.
and if we're going to be tested again and again and again and again on that path. And I said, what do you make of it, Marge? He says, and he said, I wish I could remember exactly how he phrased it, but he said, I've learned to accept both. I've learned to accept both.
Mm.
It's interesting, right?
Mm.
Kind of gets very grave when you start to think about here, you know, after years and some decades of practicing bhakti, and then you have your quiet moments alone with God in your heart, and you begin to say, it's kind of grave, you know, it's like, am I close to you? Am I far from you? Am I going to be tested so much more before you allow me in? You know, what am I holding on to? Why am I so, how can I be so clueless that I'm holding on to things that prevent me from this? Help me. You know, where is this? You know, what do I have to do? What do I have to do? Right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we don't always want to do it. We have this weakness of heart. Got to get stronger. Got to get more convinced. We got to be more like Prahlad. Let's hear what he has to say, Raga.
Okay. Narayanam namaskritya naram shaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam mudirayat. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is our very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances to the Supreme Lord Narayan, unto Narayan Rishi, the supremmost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and to Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta prayeshu badreshu nityam bhagavat sevaya bhagavati uttama bhaktir bhavati naishtaki. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart will become eradicated, and loving service to the Supreme Lord, who is praised with transcendental songs, will be established as an irrevocable fact. Om Jnana Tamarandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmadatam Nena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and my teachers are opening my eyes. With the torchlight of knowledge, I offer my obeisances at their lotus feet. Reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 10, Text 8.
Text 8.
Oh, my Lord.
Yes.
This is Prahlad speaking. Oh, my Lord. Because of lusty desires. From the very beginning of one's birth. Of course, that means just desires.
Yeah, you know, I looked up the word lusty, actually.
Oh, did you?
I did. And it's not even like the archaic kind of translation, but even like the modern translation of lusty.
Yeah.
It means, let me type it in here.
Lusty dog.
Lusty.
Lusty.
Lusty means healthy and strong, full of vigor. That's what lusty means.
Healthy and strong, full of vigor. really.
Yeah, so
That's
I
a
want
great thing.
everything
I'm
just
real
got
lusty
easier.
today. Woo!
So
We've
I
been
don't know.
using it as a pejorative all these years.
Well, I don't know if. Well, he's saying lusty desires, and you got these strong desires.
I know. It's interesting. In materialistic society, that sounds great. I got strong desires. Oh, good for you.
Yeah, he's a strong, young, lusty young man.
He's a lusty.
It's a good thing, right?
He's a young buck.
Yeah.
Oh, my Lord, because of lusty desires from the very beginning of one's birth, the functions of one's senses, mind, life, body, religion, maybe dharma, patience, intelligence, shyness, opulence, strength, memory and truthfulness are vanquished.
Okay.
Right? It's me first. When I'm lusty, it's me first.
Yeah. And
Oh
they're
my Lord,
vanquished.
when a human
Nope.
being is
I don't mean to. How can I say that in a non-condescending way, Ragnar?
you can't.
Okay. All right. Then don't get upset.
How
when
can I
do
say
that.
slow down, Raghunath?
You can't. But Prabhupada writes some interesting stuff in the commentary. First, he speaks to this initial complication. This is profound stuff.
Tell me.
You ready? This could be life-changing. I want everyone attentive. Mara, you attentive over there?
Yes,
Okay.
Prabhu.
Prabhupada writes, as soon as one has material desires, not desires, right? As soon as one has material desires to wander this world independently of any kind of God or source or anything. Nobody's got any rules to impose upon me, right? As soon as one has material desires, one loses their spiritual identity.
Boom.
There's a whole lot right in that one right there, right?
That's a lot. You lose your spiritual identity.
So we have an identity, a spiritual identity. Spiritual identity means eternal identity, right? Like that's what we always are. We may be out of touch with it.
Right. For example, I'm standing in front of a beautiful woman. Let's say Mara.
Okay.
Or no, let's say someone you don't know. You just see someone. Sorry. Well, because you see someone, you're standing right in front of them. Now, intellectually, we know, well, that's a spirit soul. But because you see someone very beautiful, you think, oh, how gorgeous. I'd like to enjoy. Huh?
And that's contrary to your spiritual identity.
You forget your spiritual identity and you see yourself as a man,
Right.
and you see them as a woman.
Oh, okay. There you
Gay,
go.
you could interpret it that way. You see yourself. Yeah. You see, once it comes to how can I enjoy them for my pleasure, they lose their spiritual identity, and I forget my spiritual identity.
Right.
That's why lust isn't like. It's not like lust is evil and God says, thou shalt not have fun. It's because it cheats you out of your real identity. God's not trying to God's not trying to rain on your party. He's trying to give you intelligence on actually how to enjoy the world.
Returning to the big party. Yeah.
What'd you say?
So that you can return to the real party.
There's a real party, the Sankirtan party.
Okay. Okay, so this is what he said. But that was a great way to say it, right? In other words, once you have material desire, you lose your spiritual identity. In other words, now you identify with the body, with the gender, with the nationality, with the circumstance, all of that. You lose your spiritual identity, your eternal identity. Okay, that's the initial complication in one sentence. As soon as one has material desires, one loses their spiritual identity. Now come all the consequential issues. Then all the paraphernalia of one's life, everything that you built up, right? Everything you've acquired, everything you've developed. Then all the paraphernalia of one's life, including one's senses, one's body, their religion, right? It's like Dharma, right? But all of my practices all the time, all the Hail Marys that I've chanted, right? All of the times I've gone to church, or all the different rituals I've done, all of that. One's patience, all that I've tolerated patiently, one's intelligence, one's ability to reason, they're all deviated from one's original Krishna consciousness. As soon as one has material desires, one cannot properly use their senses, their intelligence, their mind, and so on. It's a ladder that's been taken a long time to acquire, and then you put it up against the wrong wall, and it just all burns out. You climb to the top of it, and what you were thinking you were going to get when you got up there, there's nothing there.
Boom.
Speak to
Nothing.
me. No, speak to me.
Text 9.
So
my Lord. Where did it?
Yeah. So then the question, here Prabhupada's saying, here's a fundamental question. How did I lose my spiritual identity? Prabhupada just told us how to do it. We've cultivated these material desires. And we were talking yesterday about it, right? By contemplating the objects of the senses,
You get attached.
one develops attachment. From
Attachment, lust.
From
When you don't
lust,
get your lust fulfilled, anger.
from anger.
When you get anger, you lose your intelligence. When intelligence is lost, fall down back into the material pool.
Your spiritual, beautiful spiritual identity, that Sat Chit Ananda, right? That eternal knowledge and bliss, that natural state that we're craving for, that we're searching for through materialism, it's gone. How do we get it back? We got to get control of these desires. And this is where the practice of bhakti yoga works, right? It's like, it's not saying you have to snuff them out. It's not saying you have to extinguish your desire, but it's saying learn how to redirect that, direct it back to spirit, right? Then you got something going on, Raghunath.
Alrighty.
By the way, Karuna did, she opened up on the chat board, little Karuna, 10-year-old.
Yeah, what she said.
She's sharing her material desires with us. She wants a super fast car.
Oh, she does? Okay.
But of course not a Formula One. Those she's not interested in.
Okay.
She wants ice cream regularly, not just
Okay.
like on occasion.
Well, thank
And she
you.
also wants to go to Disneyland.
Oh, you're not going to like it.
You'll climb that wall,
You're
Karuna,
going to
and
be
you'll
like,
find
why did I spend all this money
she doesn't have
waiting in lines,
to spend lines, right?
eating junk food? You're not going to like it. I'm going to help you puncture that romantic bubble right now. Okay, let's go on. Just when we thought she was a pure devotee, that 10-year-old.
She got something deep down there. It's not that bad.
She's sharing. Oh, it's evil.
Okay.
Evil thoughts, young Karuna. Listen, oh my Lord, when a human being is able to give up all material desires, Karuna, in her mind, she becomes eligible to possess wealth and opulence like yours.
Okay.
When you
It's a Zen-like kind of thing. Once you let go, you get everything.
you get everything. It's really true, isn't it? It's really true. People are working hard to get everything. And when they let go, first of all, they realize I don't need anything. And then if you get and you don't care, but you can have it all. But they don't desire it. So they're just happy with whatever they get. And sometimes they get so much and they're just like still detached from
That's
it.
fine too. Yeah.
Because let's face it, if you get it, but you're attached to it, you suffer tremendously because there's always fear of losing it. Because that's how the material works.
It's always suffering on that end.
Is more stuff, especially if you worked hard for it.
More
means
money,
more anxiety.
more problems.
Oh yeah. The Supreme, oh my Lord, text 10. Oh my Lord, full of 6 opulences. O Supreme Person, O Supreme Soul, killer of all miseries. O Supreme Person, in the form of a wonderful lion and man, let me offer respectful obeisances unto you. The Supreme
Interesting.
Personality of Godhead said.
I was going to say, interesting that he referred to him as killer of all miseries, because we just saw him kill someone, he just killed Hiranyakashipu.
Who was miserable.
Yeah, but even he killed his miseries, did he not? I mean, it was a miserable life as Hiranyakashipu.
Yeah, let's face it. If it's all about me, people are selfish. People are sad.
Yeah. Miserable.
Okay. Okay. Karuna's got more material desires coming out on the message board. We're seeing another facet of this.
She is interested in the Formula One and love it, but I just don't want to go in one. Oh, she likes to watch them.
Okay. All right. We'll take you there. The Supreme Personality of God had said, my dear Prahlada, a devotee like you never desires any kind of material opulences, either in this life or the next.
Okay, so now Lord Nrsingadev speaking, right? The lion is speaking now.
Nonetheless, I order you to enjoy the opulences. Enjoy the opulences of the demons in this material world, acting as their king until the end of the duration of time occupied by Manu. So Prahlad's going to be the king. He's got to act. He's got to act in this world like a king.
Live like a king.
Which means you're going to get surrounded by all types of opulences. But there's a difference when a spiritualist takes on a position of authority, of power, of wealth, is they realize, I'm just doing this for Krishna. Once you get attached to it, and people can become envious of those people too. Oh, they're spiritual and they got all this stuff. It's very easy to get envious of that. The interesting thing is, if the person is really insincere, you don't have to curse them or hate them. They're going to feel the pain of it. Once you're attached to opulence, you will feel pain.
It's so rest at ease that they're going to suffer and you'll be able to enjoy their suffering.
Yeah. I mean, it's so interesting how envy works like that. If a person's really insincere and you're like, how dare they? They think they're so spiritual, but they're trying to enjoy material opulence. They're such fakers. Hey, get it? They're going to suffer.
So
attachment means suffering.
Let the world do let the universe.
Let the karma figure it out itself. You don't have to cheer for revenge. I'll be the cheerleader for people's misery. It's going to come. It just makes you miserable wanting people to be miserable.
No.
Well, I hope they get their karma. God will work it out. The material world will work it out.
Grind it all out.
Yeah.
What did they say about the justice system? It says it grinds slowly but very finely, or something like that, right? Isn't it?
Ooh, I
They
never
say
heard
something
that.
like You've heard that before? Have any lawyers around? I think that's what they say. The wheels of justice grind slowly but very finely. I think that's what it is. So the
No
wheels
one
of
gets a
karmic
pass
justice
from their karma.
So we can just let it go.
Yeah. They have to deal with that karma. It's going to come. And if you're going through some karma right now, we just accept that's what we got. Now, how can I move forward? Just getting some karma now. Just burning through some karma. But the devotee sees it differently. The devotee sees this karma right now is going to bring me to a higher place. It's going to humble me. God favors the humble. And it's humbling me. I was so proud of everything I had. Now I lost this stuff. I thought this stuff was me, an extension of me. It's not me. I can't own it. I can't possess it. Just look at me here. I'm trying to grow my hair out long. It's not growing. I combed it today. I actually combed. Look, everybody, look at my hair. I combed it today.
Nice.
Took my beard brush and comb my hair over, and nothing's growing.
I think it's time for you to start to get hair products. Gels.
I'm not there yet.
Do you use any beard products?
Well, Mara bought me some beard
wax?
products for Christmas. They don't really work.
Grooming?
I don't know. It's all a scam.
Now, Achyuta on the chat board, he asked, because right in that verse, little saintly Prahlad was just ordered to enjoy the opulences of the demons.
Yeah, that's sort of interesting, huh?
I think it's just
Demons-
it's
the
a
demons'
semantic
opulences.
question. He was just saying when we say the demons, he's speaking about a dynasty, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's saying, and that dynasty has acquired, it needs a leader, and it comes, and being the leader of that comes with all the opulences of leadership. So he's saying, you take that role now. You become the leader of the demons. Not that you become demonic yourself, but that you take over the role as the head of the dynasty.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Live in the palace, sit on the throne. Take on the fame, et cetera, et cetera. You made him the king. Prahlad didn't ask for it, but he got it.
X11. The Supreme Personality God had said, my dear Prahlad, a devotee like
That's
you.
what we just read.
Oh, yeah. It does not matter that you are in this material world. You should always continuously hear the instructions and messages given by me, and always be absorbed in thought of me. For I am the super soul existing in the core of everyone's heart. Therefore, give up fruitive activities and worship me. This is amazing. You can be in the material world, but 100% not of the material world if you just follow this simple process.
And what was the key issue? He's saying, I want you to take on leadership of a demoniac lineage and live like a king. But you can do it in such a way where you never lose touch with your spiritual identity. Mm-hmm. And what was the first thing that he said in order to do that, Raghu?
You can live in this world.
It's right there.
Oh,
Sentence 2. Did you get rid of that verse already?
I've lost my space.
Continuously hear the instructions and messages given by me. Right? What does that mean? Continuously. It doesn't mean every now and then. Continuously. Nityam Bhagavata Sevya. What we're doing right now, right? Get together, read Bhagavatam together, read Bhagavad Gita together, get together in the evening, have a little sweet baby Krishna.
Have some sweet baby Krishna. Here's the deal, people. If you don't like temples, if you don't like institutions, if you don't like churches, make your own house. Make your house a
This
holy
is your
place.
message. Yeah.
Invite people over. I get it. Some people write, I'm not really into temples and monasteries and things like that. I'm scared of organized religion. Great. Organize your household and invite some friends over. Say, hey, let's have spiritual night and read to them. You don't have to be part of some big church or institution. We're not getting kickbacks from a religious institution for saying this stuff. We're not on payroll. Invite people to your house. We want people to put more spirit in their life.
Thank you, Raghunath. That's great advice.
Yeah.
It's interesting how he said.
You can't let people. I'm going to cut you off here.
Just one time.
Maya will think of millions of excuses for me not to become a spiritual person. Oh, well, I'm not into organized religion. Okay, then do something yourself. Just do it yourself. Well, I don't like, ISKCON or this other institution. Okay, cool. Do it your own way. Just do it. Just do it and stop complaining how other people do it.
Sounds like you're complaining.
I am. I'm complaining about the complainers.
That's a good complaining.
Complaining about the complainers.
It's good advice.
And I'm complaining about you complaining about me complaining to complainers.
All right. I thought it was interesting. He said that if you're hearing about me regularly, continuously, you'll always be absorbed in thought of me. And then he gives the reason why. For I am the super soul existing in the core of everyone's heart.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, if I'm understanding this correctly, saying that if Raghunath and I are sitting around and we say, hey, rather than wasting the time and putting our ladder up and climbing a wrong wall, why don't we take out the Srimad Bhagavatam, read it together and discuss? Once we start doing that, Krishna's in my heart and he's in your heart. He's a conscious being in both of our hearts. And he internally responds to that message in some way that he awakens something in you because he's in your heart, right? Once you go there, once you start to hear that stuff.
It's also true that by reading the Bhagavatam, your heart is becoming clean, and then you're going to start to re-examine your ladder immediately.
That's there too.
I'm becoming clean, and I'm like, why am I flying down this path 120 miles per hour? I might have missed the exit, man. I should have gotten up, right? Why am I working? So we get this all the time.
Yeah,
I don't know why I'm doing what I'm doing.
You're seeing things more clearly now, right?
Yeah.
Srinvatam Swakata Krishna. You know that one, Raghu?
Srinavatam Svakata Krishna Punya Shabana Kirtana.
Yantasto Bhadrani. That Krishna is the Paramatma situated in everyone's heart and the benefactor of the truthful devotee. And he cleanses the desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted.
Say that again. Everybody needs to hear this. Put it on the board too.
This is Srimad Bhagavatam.
Very powerful Bhagavatam verse from the first canto, second chapter.
Text 17. Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is the Paramatma, the super soul in everyone's heart, and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted.
Cleanses the desire for material enjoyment. That almost sounds like a bad thing. Like, wait, don't take away my desire for material enjoyment. No, you don't understand. Once I cleanse your heart from the desire of material enjoyment, that's when you actually become happy.
Yeah.
It's like
then the healthy, lusty desires manifest, right? Vigorous spiritual desires manifest.
Well, I got this great message on Instagram from Timothy Tucker, who's one of our regular Zoomers.
Yeah.
It was like the day before the retreat. And he's like, it was such a heartfelt message. It was like, oh man, all I can do is think, I should just read it to you right now. But it was something like, all I can do is think about how I can have Krishna more in my life. All I can think about is like, how can I think of Krishna, be around devotees more, chant Krishna's name? It was like a message of a pure devotee. And I was like, well, what the heck are you doing at home right now? Get over to this Wisdom of the Sages retreat right now. And he's like, okay.
I'll do it.
Packed up and came over. He just like, his desire brought him closer and closer and closer. So what are we desiring? whatever you desire, that's what you're going to get. Be careful what desires you're trying to cultivate and try to see where this is going. Where is the end of this path going? You want material success? See where the goal of that is. See where that ends up. Don't you think Krishna has a much better agenda than your agenda? Why not check it? Why not make this your focus? Krishna, what do you want from me? Krishna, what would you like me to do with this short life?
Nice, Rabu. All right. I think it's time to check in with Mara and see if she has any takeaways for today.
Mara, I'm going to need some takeaways today.
I got some good stuff today for you.
Excellent.
All right, for me?
Yes. You said you were going to need some today.
I know.
So I got
For me? Are they exclusively for me?
I think you should take them to heart, Raghu.
I think Karuna needs to hear this stuff today too, because we're hearing all about it. She's really into fast cars.
Karuna today.
Sometimes our biggest challenge is how we react.
Yeah.
What?
Okay.
Sometimes our biggest. Okay. Yes. Okay.
Analyze what your win is before you start the hustle.
Okay.
Do the hustle.
That was a dance. The hustle.
It was
remember
a
that?
dance. Yeah, that's why you got to do it.
In the 70s.
In material endeavor, all your investments disappear.
Who makes up dances?
Poof.
You know, ever think about that? Like, who comes up with the hustle and then it's the hustle? It's just like
It's a
made
spread.
up. And then
the
it's a
Paramama
thing.
instructs people in the heart.
Okay.
In material endeavor,
When I
you weren't
was
listening.
dancing.
Yeah.
I was dancing in my mind to the hustle in a great 70s outfit. Go
Okay,
on.
let's let it go so that we can get through this.
In material endeavor, all your investments disappear. In spiritual endeavor, there's no loss.
There's no loss or diminution.
Yep.
Climb the ladder to a pure, soft heart.
Climb the ladder to a pure, soft heart. Okay.
Lust cheats you out of your real identity.
I wouldn't wear that as a t-shirt, but it's an interesting concept.
It does.
More stuff means more anxiety.
I think that was just like a super profound sentence, though, right? Just that one sentence that Prabhupada said that, I'll read it again. As soon as one has material desires, one loses their spiritual identity. Yeah, okay.
Bhagavatam cleans your heart for you to re-examine your ladder.
Oh, yeah.
Be careful what desires you cultivate.
Careful.
Yeah.
Careful what you plant in the garden.
Of your heart.
The garden of your heart.
Krishna has a better agenda than yours.
Your agenda's weak. Krishna knows what you need.
And
Yeah.
And
I don't want to be divorced of source. I want to be on a better course.
Of course. On a horse.
on a horse.
Eating borscht.
Hey, thanks everybody for joining us. Remember, if you haven't got my new book, From Punk to Monk, I think it's just Punk to Monk, a memoir, get it on Amazon, amazon.com. Or get it wherever you get books.
Can you get it in Barnes & Noble? If I just walk to my local Barnes & Noble, is it going to be there?
Someone told me they got it at the Upper West Side Barnes & Nobles. And the
Okay,
guy,
that's
the
my-
guy,
that's
the
my
guy
Barnes &
at the guy who was selling the book said, "What is this book? So many people are buying it."
Look at that.
Who was that said that?
Jewel of Harlem.
Oh, the Jewel of Harlem said that. So anyway, get it? And also, it's a great gift for a friend who's just sitting on the fence on Bhakti and say, "Hey, I think I like this." This is from the guy I do the podcast with. Because I wrote it, as my story, of course, but I wrote it to explain the path of Bhakti as well. So people like Henry, he didn't double it. He bought like 30, and he's just giving them out. People like Mukunda Kishore. It's a good thing to give to a friend, and it's a great service to help people who maybe just won't read a religious book, etc. Right?
Yeah, definitely.
And thanks for all the people who wrote comments on Amazon. It makes a difference.
Reviews.
Believe it or not, the reviews.
I got to write a review.
You got to review.
Yeah,
You gotta
we've been
read it.
waiting. We've been waiting.
Waiting for yours.
You check it every day.
Johnnaby wrote one.
He
Johnnaby wrote
still
one.
hasn't written it. He still hasn't written it. I'm sorry. I'm
Your
just
book. You could at least get the audiobook.
do it.
Henry says he got not 30, but 40 copies.
Whoa.
Henry, keep it going.
You got to send one to
Tom
little
from Cleveland
Karuna.
wants to know if we'll be in Ypsilanti this weekend.
Oh yeah,
Sunday.
and this. I forgot to announce that. I'm going to give a class in Ypsilanti this
Is that how you
weekend
pronounce
in
it?
Michigan. And then I'm going to do a book signing at the show festival, whatever it's called. I'm playing. Yeah. So if you're in Michigan area, I'll see you at their Sunday feast. I'm going to have books there too.
Yeah, Charles Wilson is going to go to Ypsilanti.
Oh, all right. We'll go to the temple first. As a matter of fact, I'm staying with the devotees. I'm looking forward to it. It's turned out to be a Krishna conscious venture.